Hi, it's Christy of So to Speak. So the magnitude of the world right now may be crushing you, or you may be hitting a flow. Really depends on the day, right? It's like as soon as we feel like, all right, I got this uncertainty thing down. We're flowing. We're actually friends now. You get a curveball thrown at you. It's inevitable. It's going to happen forever. Post COVID for the rest of your life, and it's still not fun to deal with whatsoever. And it's not about the size of the curveball, because what's big to one person is small to another, and it's all relative, right? It's about how we deal with it, and very easy for us to go outside of ourselves when we're feeling stressed out, because then we don't have to deal with what's going on inside, and we don't have to deal with how we are contributing to our space, which everything starts inside, everything. And I was just talking to a client the other day in regards to doing, and how we can so easily get into this doing mode. Burnout seems to be so overwhelming more than ever with COVID, because we really have to get really clear on our boundaries at home of when to be like, we're done. And how can we get to the point of being one step ahead of burnout instead of in the thick of it? Like, how did I get here again? Because it really does a super number on your health, mind, body, spirit. And we were talking, and we said, there's no such thing as overbeing. It's just overdoing. I'm overdoing it. But are you overbeing it? No, nobody, I don't even think that's a word. And yet let's make it one. Let's overbe versus overdo. Let's refocus on how we are being, how we are showing up, checking in before we check out, looking inside to see how I am being, how am I feeling, being real about it, not judging it, seeing how we can then move forward with intentional action instead of just going through the motions. And oftentimes, it can be really seductive to look outside of ourselves and see how we're stacking up, and just go doing to the point that we get lost in, are we doing the best that we can do? Are we doing our best? And really, we're the only ones who can judge that. We're the only ones who really truly know when we are overdoing it or when we're underdoing it and kind of cashing it in. We're the only ones who know when we need to take a break, even if it's for 5 minutes. You just need to slow down enough to be able to check in. And it reminded me of a story about a hummingbird that I want to share with you in hopes that it inspires you to know that the grandness of action really is not as important as the intention behind the action. So a small action with a really strong intention is so much more powerful than a big, huge action with no clear intention behind it. And as the story goes, there is a huge forest fire, and all of the animals come running, flocking to the edge of where the fire is, just so overwhelmed, just completely shocked and feeling powerless and helpless, that their entire life, their world, their home is being engulfed by flames, and they don't know what to do. They're just completely shocked. And then all of a sudden, a little hummingbird flies in and looks at this and is just like, what is going on? Like, I can't just sit here and watch our home disappear and be engulfed by all these flames. I need to do something. So she looks around and she sees behind her that there's a stream that all of the animals completely were oblivious to, because they were so overwhelmed by the fire. So even the elephant, who has this huge long trunk, who could have been getting water the entire time, was so thrown by the fire that he forgot that the stream was even there. So she goes back to the stream, and she has her sweet little strong beak, and she scoops up as much water as she can, and she flies back to the fire, and she puts it on the fire, and then she goes back to the stream, and back and forth she goes. And the animals just watch her in complete awe. They're just like, what is she doing? And they look at her and they say exactly that. They go, what are you doing? Like, what do you really think you're doing? How's this going to help? And she looked at them very deliberately and said, I'm doing the best I can. And then she just got back to work. And she didn't say, I'm doing the best I can with any sort of, just like down and out. I'm doing the best I can. And she didn't say it with defense, ready to fight. Like, what do you mean? I'm doing the best I can. She said it as a fact. She said, right now, this is the best I can do. And this is what I'm doing. And that's where the story ends. However, I hope that where the story really ends, if we were to look more into it, is that her small action inspires all of the other animals to jump on board and to help out. And then, oh my gosh, the fire is gone. And look at that. They work together to rebuild their home, to create connection, a sense of belonging, a sense of contribution. So just go forward in your week knowing that no matter where you are mentally, whether you're riding the wave of joy and gratitude and feeling phenomenal, or if you're having moments of feeling total just grief or confusion or overwhelm or anxiety or feeling just distraught in some way, doing the best you can is up to you. That's it. And if we all went in and did the best we could, imagine what a beautiful positive effect that would have in the world.